Hey everybody, we're live. The JPA meeting has not started yet. We're waiting. I'm gonna send a text. Find out. We don't even have a quorum at all. Hope you're doing well. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. I am trying to go. And start this. Share. Okay, let's see if I can get that music out of the way, folks. Hey everybody. Okay, let's put that there for the time being, folks. Wow. Whew. I can hear, but wait, they do that. We don't have a quorum. That music they play, Rebecca started that, but also it's a way of, and Rebecca knows this because it's a way of producing a copyright claim or some kind of way in her mind that I can't make money since I'm the only person that, cared to even try to record these, right? But hey, that's how she was. Okay, let's see if I can get a hold of Nate. Nate is the gentleman that's sitting there. Hello, Nate. Let's see if he's looking at his phone. Say hello, Nate. Let's see if he responds at all. I think we'll have a meeting. He's not looking at his phone. His phone is not.
Unknown caller.
Let's see here. Oh, all right. And let's see here. Let's see here. I'm going to try giving him a buzz. See if it rings. I wonder if he can hear his phone over the music.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying.
I can see you. There's Ken. Ken is remote. Everybody's there. Okay, now we're getting people in. Okay. Nate says we're officially going to have a meeting. We're waiting for a quorum. Thanks. Thanks. The agenda is on the. Okay, we don't. People are coming in by remote. Okay. let's see if got that sound stuff for taking note. Did we? Let's find out.
Take the food.
Nope. Still playing that ridiculous sound. Okay. Okay. While waiting for that, I'll read off the agenda for you and to you. Oh, let me make sure I've got this distributed, folks. Put that over there. Okay, got that. Okay. Okay. Waiting. It's 11:14, and they have this music going. And I think you should make an announcement. Let me tell Nate. Nate. Make an announcement of where we are, because it looks bad otherwise. I mean, see, Rebecca would by now would have stepped up to the plate and said, "Hey, we'll have a meeting when we have a quorum. Quorum has arrived." Henry should do that. Okay, Henry should do that. Okay. Let me call him Nate. He looks lost, poor fella. Come on, Nate, pick up your phone. Yeah,
Your call has.
Nate's trying to get his attention now. Yeah. Yeah, just say something, man. You're so busy talking and crap, Nate. See, I'm talking about Henry. It's ridiculous. All right? He's not saying anything. This looks bad. Just say something. They're just sitting there, folks. They're literally just sitting there. Okay? They are literally just sitting there. I mean, to say this looks bad is an understatement. It just looks bad. Jeez. Man, oh man. It was unbelievable. Let's see here.
Okay, welcome to the meeting of the special meeting of the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Authority, Friday, June 20th, 2025 at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. We are waiting for another few minutes
There you go.
for a quorum. If we do not have a quorum in the next 5 minutes, we will have to reschedule this meeting.
Okay, there we go. Thank you. That's all I ask, folks. That's all I ask. Thank you. I mean,
Just really feel sorry for Pastor Jackie and me. It's not like they don't have anything else to do. It takes 30 minutes to get here.
someone's got a hot mic over there. Henry.
It takes them 30 minutes to get back to
What's he talking
in
about?
their office.
Oh, they killed the mic. Oh no! Doggone it, I hate when they do that. Put that doggone music back. Jeez, I don't know why they do this. Okay? That's so bad. Okay, so 5 minutes, folks. 5 minutes or so. If they're not there, we don't have a meeting. That's where this is. And if they don't have a meeting, I'll talk about it. Because it's 12:19. You've got Halbert remote, Ken Houston remote. I think you might have a quorum. Let me call Ken. Let me get a hold of Houston. See, they do all this music stuff.
It's on.
All right.
Unfortunately, we do not have a quorum, and we will have to reschedule this meeting. And the rescheduled meeting will be a special meeting, and we will give sufficient notice of the date and time.
Okay, we don't have a quorum, folks.
Thank you.
Boom. So no quorum there. Jeez. Oh, there's Henry. All right, folks. So there's no quorum, but let me take some time that since you're here to read off to you what the agenda looks like, okay? Because you have a right to know. There's a lot of business. Hey, everybody, there's no quorum today. They just announced it, the JPA meeting. I am going to present to you, as I'm doing right now, the board package. We would have the call to order, the roll call, the open forum. Now, open forum, I was going to speak, and I'm going to share with you what I'm going to say this next time, and I was going to say this time. Let me take you down here. These are notes from the April 18th meeting, all right? And they got their approval of minutes and the reports that were taken, and so on. Okay, closed session, adjournment, and Aaron Roseman was the secretary. All right. I had a glitch in video, and in fact, just like now, you didn't hear it, but what I have to do, and I keep forgetting to do, is I have to go to audio. Oh, echo cancellation was off, so guess what? I'll turn it on. But guess what? Because echo cancellation was on, you heard the volume. All right, when it's of the JPA meeting, right? When it's off, because of the way StreamYard's currently designed, that doesn't happen. They recommend you not turn echo cancellation on, that you have a special mic or whatever. But a lot of people say, hey, I can't hear very well, so when you turn echo cancellation on, that stops that. All right. Anyway, because of that, I didn't pick up the volume from that meeting. And so I was trying to get a copy of the meeting, knowing they record these things, right? They have the Zoom. Now, there is a strict, well, it's supposed to be strict, okay? Brown Act rule regarding recordings of public hearings. And basically, any recording of a public hearing that's done, like this one, is supposed to be shared with the public. Now, here, you could look at the board package and you scroll up or down, rather. Okay, right here. It says you're invited to a Zoom webinar. In other words, this is, you can be joined by audio, and this is, notice that, hey, this is a Zoom webinar. It's going to be recorded. All right. You can join here, passcode. Whenever you present this to the public, it's supposed to be recorded, period. Then you have your call to order, open forum, and so on. All right. They did not give me a copy of it. What happened was that Renee Savage, it wasn't her fault. Renee's Henry's assistant secretary, said she would get it. A few days went by, nothing happened. To cut to the chase, Renee said that the viewer or the maker said they didn't have the video. Well, you're supposed to have it. You're supposed to have it. And that person was Aaron Roseman, who's since left the city of Oakland, or been terminated or whatever, however you want to look at it. But however she prefers to look at it. But nonetheless, I notified all of the people. I notified Rebecca, Nate, Ken Houston. No action. Okay, no action. When I talk about the Brown Act, it's something called the Ralph M. Brown Meetings Law. And so I will go to Google, since I'm not bound by open forum time limits, but I'm not going to take a lot of time saying this. And I will present to you the Ralph M. Brown California Act in California. And there's a meeting recording for the public. All right, like that, and search. And I'm doing that right now. All right, so I got that. I did it. Okay. And so you're supposed to this requires the public's business to be done in the open. All right. So what I have here, let me show you, is these results right here. And it reads, in addition to requiring the public's business to be conducted in the open and open notice meetings, the Brown Act also extends to the public the right to participate in meetings. All right. And so if we scroll down now and look further at the law, let's hear Cal Cities. Okay. Now you can record a public meeting like I'm doing, right? Here's that document, a guide to the Ralph M. Brown Act. A number of lawyers produced this. It's the people's business. You have the right of access, broad coverage, narrow exemptions, public participations, and so on, achieving balance. Now, let me see if this document has exactly what I'm looking for, which is, if I do a quick search, find in page, record, records and recordings, 29. Okay. Records and recordings, 29. Let's go down to page 29. And hopefully this document has what I know the law says. Although I probably should have just went to the legislation, but hey, I'm doing this on the fly. All right. Go down to 11, 12, a long way down, folks, like an elevator ride. Going down, 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 down. All right. And we're almost there. Almost there. Hope your day was a great one. Meetings, getting there, getting warmer, as I say. And page 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29. Agendas, notices required for adjournment, the right to attend, records and recordings. So let's go down there. All right. I believe you pressed this, right? Is this? Nope. Not. Okay. Agendas, notices, and public participation. All right. Records and recordings is way down here. Let's keep going. Let's see here. The right to attend and observe open meetings, records and recordings. The public has the right to review agendas, says it here, and other writings distributed by any person to a majority of the legislative body in connection with a matter subject discussion or consideration of meeting. All right. And it says that any tape or film record of an open and public meeting made for whatever purpose by or at the direction of local agency is subject to the Public Records Act. However, it may be erased or destroyed 30 days after the taping or recording. Any inspection of a video or tape recording is to be provided without charge on a video or tape player made available by the local agency. The agency may impose its ordinary charge for copies. In addition, the public is specifically allowed to use audio or video tape recorders, all right? But my whole point is, and you can't restrict the public broadcast of the open meeting, all right, without making a finding that noise, illumination, or obstruction of view will be persistently disrupt the meeting proceedings, okay? I asked for a copy of the video just a couple of days after the meeting when I realized that, hey, I'm not actually one day after. I said, hey, I'm not going to, or rather, I'm not able to hear my meeting. I have a glitch. I had a problem, a technical issue. And Renee responded, and I should show you the email, but I'll be putting her email out there, so I'm not going to do that. Well, her email is public anyway. It should be. It is public, but I'll just explain it to you, okay? What happened was that I sent an email request. Renee got back to me. Not immediately. It took a few days, but not 30. Everything that happened transpired well within the 30-day time period. But 5 days later, I reached out to Renee again and said, "Hey, where's the video?" She reached back and said, "Let me check on it." And then it was another 3 days later that she told me that they don't have it, that they didn't record the meeting. Okay. Now, when you put up a Zoom system, here's the issue that I have. If this meeting had started, they would have recorded it. That you're supposed to record these. You don't just start them for broadcast, but you're supposed to record the broadcast and make it available to the public. That's by law. All right. When the person pushes a button, it says recording broadcast. There's an electronic voice that says that. You'll hear it, and you've heard it in past broadcasts on my program. That's standard, okay? Which means they were recording it, which means they have the record. All right? Aaron did not share that with me at all. Now, was she upset because I wrote a piece that was critical of her with respect to this city operations? So what? It doesn't matter. I wasn't a personal piece. It was public, professionally done. It doesn't matter. And when I say professional, not with care, I mean with the appropriate care that we commonly applied here. So, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. She can't say, well, you're not press, because I am. Both California has its own shield law, if you will, for journalists, which is widely acknowledged to include bloggers. So that ship sailed a long time ago. She can't make that argument. If she makes the argument, she's acting against the law. Of course, she's gone now. The trouble is that this was never followed up on, and I'd still like to have that recording. All right? We've never had a discussion regarding how often they're kept. So that's what I will talk about. Now let's go back to the agenda itself, all right? And what I'll do is switch this out for the agenda document yet again. Bear with me. So there's the board package, and here's the agenda, okay? So we got call to order, a roll call, open forum, approval of the minutes from the April 18th meeting, and no, we don't have a May one because the May one was really short. Well, actually, yeah. Then we have the executive director's report, third quarter budget report. I believe in this board package, they have those actual documents. So let's go down here and take a look at the executive director report, which should be in here, and it should be there, right there. The third quarter budget report. It reads: the third quarter is all positive. We're showing we are ahead, or that. Excuse me. Let's start all over again. The third quarter is all positive. This is Henry Gardner writing this. He's the executive director, the gentleman who was sitting on the left, an African American, well-suited tie. The third quarter is all positive, showing we are headed for a very successful budget year. We are projecting a surplus of revenues over expenditures by a few $1 million. We will not have final numbers until after the close of the fiscal year, but barring any hiccups, we are in a positive territory. The surplus is a combination of revenues exceeding budget and expenditures trending below budget. Revenues, expenditures. The largest revenue source is the contribution from the city and the county in the amount of 9.8 million, specifically 9,805,000. And the second largest category is the Warriors debt service payment. The revenues from all sources are projected to exceed the budget by 1,600,000. Administration, legal, and audit expenses are all projected to come in under budget by year end. Coliseum operations, the largest expenditure category, is projected to be $4,236,000 below budget. No surprise there because, hey, we don't have any teams. We have except the Roots, right? And the cricket operation. Capital outlay is projected to be about $4 million under budget due to delays in purchasing equipment or contract negotiations. There will be some carryover into next fiscal year. Proposed budget for 2025-2026 looks like this or sounds like this. Submitted for your approval, Henry writes, is the proposed budget for fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $32,909,000. Revenues, fund balance, and city and county contributions total $32,909,000, and expenditures for all categories total the same, $32,909,000. A balanced budget. Revenues, fund balance, and city county contributions. Revenues are estimated at $11,369,000. City and county contributions are $19 million, and the fund balance is $2,540,000. The largest source of revenues is the Warriors debt service payment of $5,231,000. This is the final payment by the Warriors and is used to offset the same amount under expenditures. We have budgeted $1,600,000 for interest income and $1 million for advertising income and $3,323,000 in facilities fees and $215,000 in cell phone tower leases. Expenditures. There is little change in administration, audit fees, and management fees. Capital outlay is substantially reduced from last year by $4 million. There is an increase in legal expenses in anticipation of increased litigation costs. The largest increase is approximately $3,395,000 over last year for Coliseum operations, due in part to having to absorb certain operations costs previously covered by the Oakland A's. So in other words, when the A's were here, they paid those operations costs. And that fiscal burden was not placed on the JPA. Now it is. Okay? It is. And so in terms of operations, I'm talking about. And so even with the debt service for both the arena and the stadium being retired as of, and I want to say something too, folks. If the A's were to come back, the Coliseum would realize an immediate, and if the A's came back and they would agree to pay the operations they did before, this would have realized an immediate boon to the budget of the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum, Joint Powers Authority in the facility. And so when people say, as it was said when the A's were here, hey, they don't contribute anything, obviously you can see by what I just told you, that's not true at all. They do. So I'll continue. Even with the debt service for both the arena and the stadium being retired as of February 1, 2026, a city-county subsidy will continue to be required as long as the city and the county continue to own and operate the stadium. This is something that's going to go away when AASCG takes over. And so these costs and the revenues required to provide them, the AASCG has to take consideration of, because That's going to go away. That's going to go away. One moment, please. Hey, I'm on live. Yeah, there is no quorum. Yeah, was announced. Yeah, and I'm actually um, explaining to my viewers that. Yeah, can I call you right back? Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Okay. So so anyway, folks, as I was saying, that debt service for both the arena and the stadium is being retired as of February 1st. Hold on a second, folks, please. Uh, okay, folks, I'm back. As I was saying, uh, and I'm right here. Even with the debt service, both the arena and the stadium being retired as of February 1st, 2026, a city-county subsidy will continue to be required as long as they continue to own and operate the stadium. Given past performance, the stadium requires a very deep subsidy of 12 million to 14 million a year if it continues to be used. That's a big deal, and that's a chunk of change that AESCG is going to have to figure out how to come up with pretty quickly. All right. Um, no, Levy Premium Food Service. Levy Premium Food Service is the current concessionaire for the arena. The contract expires on August 31st, 2025. The contract was entered into September 21st, 2021, and the Coliseum JPA has negotiated an amendment to the existing contract to extend the term for 10 months to June 30th, 2026. They're proposing to extend the term to align the AESCG contract, which terminates June 30, 2026, in line with the AESCG contract. So they're trying to get everything to line up so all this stops next year, June 30th, and then AESCG takes over. As long as the JPA continues operations at the arena, we will need a concessionaire. For the 10-month period, we're proposing the following rate structure. Our receipts, 34.5%, premium catering, 20%. It's concessions, premium catering. After careful analysis and based on the short duration of the extension and prospect of the number and types of events scheduled for the arena, we conclude that the modified rate structure is fair and reasonable. Accordingly, we recommend approval of the resolution extending the existing contract for an additional 10 months. Respectfully submitted, Henry L. Gardner, Executive Director. And he presents the numbers here. Then the next is a report by ASM Global. That's the organization that manages the Coliseum. They're talking about event activity. They're going to talk about the added event opening up with Major League Cricket, 9 games. Then Biokun, Kara Ajula, July 10th. Biokun is July 3rd. Then A.R. Rahman, July 25th. The Santa Fe Clan and Shoreline Mafia, that's a cool name, July 26th. Keisha Cole, it's July 31st. 9 Inch Nails, boy, that's a blast from the past group. August 6th, 2 days after my birthday. Monster Jam, September 5th through the 7th. Mexico versus Japan soccer. Baby Monster, September 10th. NBA Youngboy, September 12th. Badasa, September 13th, 2025. Ice Cube, September 13th. Disney on Ice, October 16th to 19th, 2025. Shub, August 22nd, 2025. I don't know what that red letter date is. Maybe that means they're not supposed to be here. They're read out. They're red letters. The World of Hans Zimmer is coming. That's October 7th. Sleep Token is October 10th. The Oakland Roots, 17 games starting March 22nd, running all the way through to, or started March 22nd, running all the way through October 25th of this year. The stadium postponed new date is there. When you read this, there's one thing they do not tell you is what these red letters are. The red ones are we to conclude that they are not happening? That's a question there. Okay. Then there's this resolution appointing a vice chair and for the remainder of the calendar year. And it's says that it gives you the whereases, which I'm not going to bother to read here. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the board does hereby appoint Commissioner Blank as the vice chair of the board for the remainder of the calendar year. Now, who is that? It does say that Section 4D1 of the JPA agreement requires that a chair and a vice chair be appointed from amongst the commissioners. Okay. And on May 20th, 2025, then Commissioner Rebecca Kaplan ceased to be a member of the City Council and pursuant to 4B of the JPA agreement ceased to be a member of the commission. And so the position of vice chair is vacant. All right, let me say something about this. Rebecca took her job seriously. And there isn't anybody else that I can see that raises to the standard, or if it comes to the standard that Rebecca set of showing up on time and managing the meeting, except Nate himself. Nate was there on time, right? But even then, Nate, was kind of asleep at the wheel there. I had to text him, hey, Nate, can you get Henry to say something or make it a statement that we don't have a quorum right now, and if we don't have a quorum within X number of minutes, we're going to adjourn the meeting, or we're going to reschedule the meeting. And finally, he did say the first thing and then the final thing. All right. But I have the text messages to prove it. I have to text him to get him to do it. Right. So if Rebecca were there, I would not have had to do that. That's how much of a difference you're seeing in JPA operations from the standpoint of managing the meeting right now. All right. That's how much of a difference you're seeing. Now, see, if I'm one of the commissioners, you wouldn't have that problem. All right. If I'm on the JPA, you wouldn't have that problem. And I don't see anybody else capable of stepping up to make sure that the standard that Rebecca set is maintained. And I'll say that. Okay. I don't see that. But they have to come from among the commissioners as per the agreement. Unless they adjust the agreement. Say, hey, we've got this guy who knows what we do. He's remote, but he can do it for us. So let's do that. At any rate, here's a resolution approving the budget that I talked about. And they've got an Exhibit A, that's the budget here. It's in detail. I'm not going to bother to go through that with you here, but I'm going to go and break it down for myself for another video. This is the Levy agreement, or Levy, excuse me. This is, and I'll take another deeper look at this later. But I believe that Levy's done a great job. This is the Arena Concession License Agreement, as you can see. And also, we've got one more year of this anyway. So, resolution approving a settlement agreement with TP Windows there, and that's it. That's all. Or as Bugs Bunny would say, beep, 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 beep. That's all, folks. Oh, by the way, that's my stepfather and my lovely mother. So, at any rate, there it is. That's the meeting. That's the information you will hear. That AESCG matter of having to come up with 14 million to run the stadium and the arena, that's a big deal. They're going to have to do that after 2026 because next year will be the final year of the subsidy, not this year. In 2027, it's a new world. All right. So, folks, there you are. There's your presentation of the meeting. I hope I was able to fill in. Well, if I wasn't able to, let me know, please. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark ZennyReport.com and OaklandNewsOnline.com. See ya. That ends the stream.